here. We're going to take you on a little tour around the campgrounds. We're on 508, which we really like it. It's big. And there are some others on this side. That one right there is pretty big. The one behind us is where the trail starts up to the camp. The trail starts up to the bathhouse. But Kurt said it's sunnier than this one. The ones over here, one of the park rangers or one of the camp hosts, who was it? I think so. Was telling Kurt this morning that it gets really wet over here.
Well, when it rains heavy.
When it rains. So we're gonna ride around, and right now I'm gonna show you the map.
We are here currently, so we're gonna ride around here, and then we haven't been up in here, so we might.
No, we may check that out too. Yeah. Somebody was telling us that that we should stay in the 100s because they have full hookups.
It's
and
also in the sun.
If we were going to stay for a couple of weeks, yes, that makes sense. Right. But we're here for 4 nights, so we're good. I don't think Chip's happy.
I hear him.
Because we're leaving without him and he's in the kennel. I took some videos at the bathhouse, and I'm going to insert those right here. There are bathhouses scattered throughout the park in each loop. And they're very nice. On one side, there's women's and then a unisex. And there's also a shower in there. So if you want absolute privacy, you can go in and lock the door. There's a toilet and a shower. And in each of the restrooms, there are separate toilets and a couple of showers, and I'm going to show that. And this one's set up just like the one at Victoria Brand. On the opposite side is laundry room. I double checked to make sure nobody's in here. But these are nice. Have a changing station. Air hand dryer, which I needed a couple of paper towels. And if I do that again, I'll bring some. I need to wrap my soap. There are 3 toilets. The last one here is wheelchair accessible. So you can get in there easily. And I thought there was only 1 shower, but in the men's, Kurt was telling me there were 2, and I found out there were 2. This one's smaller. And this one is wheelchair accessible. Okay. It was dark when I got in here, but they do have adjustable lights. I didn't allow myself enough time. The lights actually went out on me. But you can turn them on for, I think, 60 minutes. So right over here is the laundry room. And I think at Victoria Bryant, we have shown that one before, but I'm going to show it. There's 1 washer and 1 dryer, but look at the prices, $1.75, $1.50, pretty good. If you can get it, you know, without anybody being in here. But like I said, these are not the only ones. There are a few bathhouses scattered around, and I'm assuming they all have laundry. This is the back side. Kurt came up at the same time I did, but I'm assuming he's already gone because it takes me a lot longer. I had to shave my legs this morning, like anybody needs to know that. Here's the opposite side. Men's there, unisex there. So if you're here, like I said, there are 2 unisex that lock from the inside. You can go in if you want total privacy. I don't know whether it's the time of year, but nobody's been in any of the showers when I've been in there. Here's our walk. Look at this. I love this campsite, and I'm going to mark it as one of my favorites. And when we come back, unless we find something we like better, I'm going to try to book it. There we are. It's just rock and gravel. I mean, rock and sand. There we are. Trail goes out to the road. But, like, this is basically our campsite. So we just come out the door and head up to the trail. We were looking around the other day to see about getting some firewood. So we drove through here, the trading post, but it's only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is not how you get firewood here. You can look right over there at the Camp Post Station 2. You can actually go over there if you have exact change to buy it and get it there. Or you can go to where you check in, get it there, bring your receipt, and they'll give it to you. Right here, you take your receipt with you and you go to Camp Post, the Area 2's Camp Post. And we were there the other day when the person was there, but if they're not, you just buzz on the call button to get ice and firewood. We also noticed up where you check in, they have a little library, and most of those were children's books, but this looks like adult novels, fiction, probably, mostly. And you could take a book, bring a book, leave a book, whatever. Kurt's gonna bring one of his books that he just finished reading. Across from the trading post, and we're showing this coming from Loop 5, but this is section 1. And somebody was telling us, I think I said that earlier, that they have full hookups are down here, but there's not a lot of trees. If we were going to stay longer, yes, I would definitely want this. But there's a lake there, piers, and you can rent boats and kayaks and things like that. We had not been up into section 6, so we drove up that way. These don't have pads or hookups or anything. Well, they do have hookups, electric, and do they have water? But these are tent sites.
I don't know.
Or I would think tents or maybe small campers. You know, little, I don't know, whatever those are, the little small campers. But see, right there, that's a good shot of one right there.
Yep.
Camping area 1, we just pulled in here by the lake. I really don't want to show too much of people's setups, but you can see not a lot of trees, but there are full hookups. That one's pretty big right there, that Tiffin right there. So ours will fit, definitely. Look at the Airstream, that's really cute. Here's the lake. All right, so this is area 2. Okay, near the lake. It does not look like it has full hookups. I honestly would rather check the website. I'm not sure how many even have full hookups. I like where we are. But if you like this kind of thing, you know, fishing, this is the perfect spot for you. Little bridge down there.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm. What is this, 3 or is it still 2? It's 3. We're in 3 now. And this has a lot of shade.
Yep.
We were wondering what pioneer sites were. I think the road may say it all. I think this might be more
Tent camping.
maybe either tent camping. It could be dry camping too. Yeah, I think the pioneer site's pretty rough camping here. they're getting rougher and rougher as we get down further.
Yeah, the road.
Here. There are picnic tables, but that's, to me,
And
unless...
power and water, but not, it's probably like 110.
Yeah. Or 20, maybe at the most. We made it out. That road was rough. There's the lake. Much better view of the lake as we're heading out. There are also hiking trails all around. We just passed one. Yeah, we just passed one called Carl's Cove, and it's an easy loop hiking trail. This is the registration office. We're going to head there, except we're going to go up to the parking lot up above it. I am going to get out, I think, I'm going to take a little video of the two-story building. The lady today was telling us that one of the organizations that Roosevelt created built this. Something like an amphitheater over there, and that kind of tells me that they have groups that come here and they do demonstrations. I know that when I was teaching in Franklin County, we would go to the state parks. I think we went to Tugelo, and I think we went to Victoria Bryant, and they had educational programs. We would meet with a park ranger, and they'd tell us things. It's very interesting. So now I'm going to get closer to the view. Have this area here that is mowed, like a lawn of some kind.
Welcome to mow.
I'm thankful I don't have to mow this. That right there, I was saying that right there, that edge right there would make me so nervous.
It's been done.
But today when we were at the little White House and we were out on the veranda, we came back in and the lady was telling us that from there you could see, on a clear day, you could see into the state of Alabama. I see your shadow. Franklin D. Roosevelt State Park has been designated a National Historic Landmark. It took until 1997 before that happened.
I guess so.
That doesn't make any sense. Again, this is not going to do this justice, I'm sure. But here is the side of the visitor center registration office. And we'll get to the front of it. And there's the chimney right there. I didn't video inside when I was here the other day, but it's a really neat building, and they have a lot in there. We got a coffee mug, we got a sticker, and we got some other stuff. We are thinking, though, that it's the CCC that built it, because we noticed the other day there's a statue and some information about it. So I'm going to go check that out right now. As you walk up, this information's on this. Franklin Delano Roosevelt State Park is Georgia's largest state park, which I did not know until we got here the other day. We've already seen some of the flora and fauna. We've seen plenty of squirrels. We saw a turtle. And there's a really good view, a really good shot of the building. And I'm going to turn around and it'll look better from where I am right now. This is the organization that built this house. And here's the statue commemorating the CCC. The young men of the CCC. So we came out of the visitor center and we're headed toward the pool. at right here. And
like brown.
I am going to get out and show the actual pool. Okay, that's the road we were on a minute ago, coming from this direction from the visitor center. There is a nice big parking lot. Couple of picnic tables. And the pool is very large. But I'm not going to give that away quite yet, because it is hard to believe that it looks like this, but it is quite large. But now that we get closer, it looks like a rock bottom, and maybe it is clear. But it looks like I just saw something jump in there or something. I don't know, or maybe that is the water moving around. Maybe it is clear and we just can't tell. But it's large. And she was also telling us this does not have anything to do with the little White House and Warm Springs. This is totally separate. But again, didn't she say that that same organization built the pool too?
I think so.
I guess that makes sense if there's a rock bottom, right? And look at this right here. But yeah, look. So that's what it's supposed to look like. There you go.
The pool is fed by a mountain spring. The edges and bottom of the concrete pool are lined with Hollis quartzite field stones.
Well, there you go.
There's a small semicircle wading pool at the end.
Okay, there's some information about the bridge. The one that I said looks saggy.
It's not sagging.
It was also built by the CCC.
It's not sagging.
Maybe not. So the CCC was very much involved here. I didn't know anything about the CCC until I was watching the Waltons. And there was an episode they had on there called The Boy from the CCC. Now, so I guess starting after Memorial Day, they'll be open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 11 to 6. And then starting in August, open only on weekends. Okay. And open July 4th no matter what day of the week it is. I think that's what that means. Water shoes recommended. I can see why. Because if that is on the bottom of the pool, yeah, you know, you got to worry about your feet. A little bit more information. One of the world's largest spring pools, open daily, public welcome. Well, that's not quite true, but we saw the hours. Anyway, a CCC work project commissioned by President Franklin Roosevelt, built in 1938. We stayed at this campground over a month ago, and we forgot to do an outro, so I'm just going to do it now. One of the things that I'm disappointed about is that I thought I took videos of the cabins, but I guess I didn't. But anyway, it's a really nice campground. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you get a chance to visit, do. We'll be back. See ya.